J Akbar is with us tonight. He's BJP spokesperson, and GVL Narasimha Rao, also BJP spokesperson. But J Akbar has dealt with this issue in the past as a journalist as well. Maroof Raza is our strategic affairs expert, and Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, former member of parliament of the Lok Sabha. Thank you very much. I just want to begin by showing some pictures to our viewers here today. And I want to show the pictures of these junk choppers. Now, these are the pictures. I'll just explain it very simply to our viewers. These are junk choppers. They are worth nothing. They are worth nothing in scrap. These pictures, our cameras went into the Mumbai airport area where they have been lined up, and they are lying there. As you can see, nobody will even pay 100 rupees for these choppers. The interesting part of this story is this, that a dangerous middleman called Chirstian Michel, who is known to be close and have connections with some top Indian politicians, offered to buy these choppers and was actually paid 18 million euros, 130 crore rupees for this transaction. He actually offered to pay only 500,000 pounds to the company, to the Indian company Pawan Hans, to buy the choppers back. The rest was his kickbacks. In other words, shame on this country. Shame on this country which allows Madhu Gaud, a middleman, to come in and offer to buy back junk choppers and make a kickback for it. Do you think the Congress government, the last Manmohan Singh government, Congress leadership, as well as the Congress leadership of the Rajiv Gandhi period, should both be investigated for the junk chopper scam? We need to open this up. This could be bigger than Bofors.
Arnab, let me start with first. I strongly desist the line going on your TV, the second scam under Rajiv.
Well, it is nothing short of a scam. You buy junk.
Allegations you're making to start.
No, it is a scam. I repeat, it's a scam.
The UPA 2 government.
I repeat, it's a scam under the Rajiv Gandhi government.
No, you say change that. Change that.
Why should I change that? It's a scam. I'll tell you why it's a scam. I won't change it. Because I have declassified papers which show, I have declassified papers of the British government which show this was junk. 10 Indians died flying junk.
Declassified documents of British government is not a gospel truth.
Oh, really?
Let's begin with that.
Oh, really? Letters of the British Prime Minister are not the gospel truth.
The so-called declassified document doesn't say that then the leaders in power or the government are paid any bribe to buy these choppers. And you're showing the pictures of junk. When is these pictures? Were these pictures taken during 1987? Were these pictures of junked choppers right after a year or 2 years after the choppers were bought? Okay. This is completely misleading.
Would you place yourself? No, one second. I'll tell you one thing. One second. Now you've spoken, and I'll get the BJP spokesperson also in this. It can't be a one-sided conversation.
Today. During Manmohan Singh's government, the allegations of bribery paid, Mr. A.K. Anthony, then the defense minister, ordered CBI inquiry and cancelled the contract.
One second, Narasimha Rao is coming in. Narasimha Rao wants to say something. One second, Narasimha Rao.
Come on, I think Defense Minister Anthony had no choice. There were court proceedings going on in the courts of Italy, where it was established, where the CEO of the company which sold these helicopters to India was being investigated. I think Anthony had no choice. He was not doing a favor. I think the Congress party was involved in this murky deal where bribes are being paid to the top politicians of the Congress party. I think the court proceedings in Italy clearly established that these payments were made to some top leaders and their advisors.
Gentlemen, one second, please. One second. You tell me today, change the line. I won't change the line. One second, you tell me today, Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, the problem with the Congress party, Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, the problem with the Congress party,
they stoop down to any level.
Okay, fine, have you finished? Can I say something, Mr. Yaskhi?
I am citing court proceedings, Mr. Yaskhi.
None of the allegations
these are not my inventions.
First of all, now, one second, gentlemen, one second. A.K. Antony is an honest man. No, one second. Don't give me this.
Statements
Don't make a Mark Antony speech on the Newshour, please. A.K. Antony is a gentleman. A.K. Antony is an honest man. Please realize, please.
Mr. Manmohan Singh's government, what we have done it. Let me tell the truth. Let me know the country.
Mr. Yaskhi, can you just stop for a minute? Can you stop for a minute, Mr. Yaskhi? Can you stop for a minute? I'll tell you what. Let me get MJ Akbar into this. First of all, these are official documents of cabinet meetings, correspondence of the British Prime Minister's Secretary and Minister of Trade in UK at that time. They are authentic. They are as authentic and as official as information gathered through the right to information in India. I want to know that you have to be either mad or corrupt to buy defective choppers from the UK, despite technical advice to the contrary. And now I'd like to go to MJ Akbar. This decision cost lives. Not just 60 million pounds, which is the amount paid for them. 10 people died, including pilgrims, MJ Akbar, and 2 captains as a result of these faulty choppers being bought. And I'm actually saying today, who is the person who wants to buy back the choppers? A man called Chirstian Michel, who is known to be close to a top political family of India. He wants to buy back the choppers, and that is linked to another scam, which the VVIP chopper deal also exposed on Times Now, and much of the money was going into funding that. So here's the scam. Indians die, you buy faulty choppers, and 25 years later, a kickback expert, a person who is a dubious, notorious middleman offers to buy back the choppers through a Singapore-based company. MJ Akbar, what can be worse? What can be worse than that?
Very little. I'd like to point out, I've been hearing what has been told to you, Arnab. When the chopper deal was being done in the mid-80s, the experts then had warned, had said very clearly that these are defective helicopters. This was not a secret, number one. Number two, the money that was created for this was actually meant for aid for Indians. But that's on one side of it. Third,
aid for India, not for Indians.
You've been saying
Indians.
No one was forced. No one was forced. There was willingness to do this deal. The British claimed that they were saving a company, but the bigger motivation was the middleman. And by the way, the same Michel family today is involved in the Augusta Westland helicopter deal, which is under investigation at this moment, which is a big deal that was done.
Same family, same middleman family, same middleman family. MJ Akbar is 100%
right. Same middleman.
MJ Akbar was part of the late Rajiv Gandhi
family. The recipient, the Italian press, by the way, Arnab, you've been very kind. The Italian press has named the family to which the money was given.
About buying these choppers.
No, what is this discussion about MJ Akbar or the scam? Is the discussion about MJ Akbar or the scam? You want to attack MJ Akbar personally? One second.
MJ Akbar was a part of Rajivji's team at that time. He was in a Congress. Now he joined BJP. Is he serving the current BJP government? Was he ever raised any of in writings or in private writings that any impropriety or any bribe was paid during that time? Why MJ Akbar is whatever he's speaking on the BJP and leveling and same again.
Okay, MJ Akbar respond. MJ Akbar, the question is being raised.
The family would
listen to the facts. MJ Akbar has been a journalist. He joined the Congress around 88, 89, I don't know. And you know, now you're being asked, MJ Akbar, why didn't you make this point then?
He was with Rajivji's team.
That's all. That's your last defense.
Was he ever advised Mr. Rajivji's?
Okay, MJ Akbar, anyway, respond.
Rajiv government.
MJ Akbar, respond, please.
May I?
Whatever he's speaking on behalf of BJP.
This deal was done in 85. The Telegraph, in fact, carried the first story on this deal.
The discussions 85.
After that,
and then during 85,
then
the Prime Minister strongly resisted. He refused to go ahead with this deal.
It is very difficult to have a dialogue on your show.
Mr. Gaud, if you've asked a question, let him reply.
Stop. Right? And you know, he goes on and on trying to make a mockery of any reasonable discussion. I'm sorry, this is one of the reasons why it's very difficult to, you know, make a point with such irresponsible commentary coming on the other side. In any case, the point is that I was
serve the BJP party.
I was there. I did the first story. The Telegraph did the first story on this subject. We exposed the deal. I was a member of the Congress only between 89 and 91, right? The deals and the full implications of the story and the full facts of the story actually started coming out in the early 90s after Pawan Hans, which was the recipient of this defaulted, all this defective helicopters. The whole thing went balloon, you know, belly up at that time. It was in the 90s that the cover-up operations on this deal started. And in any case, your Mr. Anthony, who went and bought the Acosta helicopters, the luxury deals for which 360 crores was paid to a certain family.
Yeah.
The Italian press has been naming that family, I think Arnab is a bit too polite at this moment on his show. This is a linkage which goes right back. It's a mirror operation, and this mirror operation has now been fully exposed by the papers that have been revealed by the British government's records.
Wait 1 minute, Mr. Akbar. Mr. Akbar, you are a senior journalist. I'm a lawyer also. You can't try to make a mockery of my statement based on the facts. My first question to you, when you have written this or brought to these so-called bribery allegations in 90s, what were you doing or what were your government during NDA government for 6 years? When you knew this fact, have you started any inquiry on this so-called unfounded allegations? Number one. Number two, you are in the government past 7 months. Now you are trying to accuse Mr. A.K. Anthony, then the most honest defense minister who cancelled the contract outright. Forget about inquiry to the CBI, by the CBI. He cancelled the whole contract. Now you are in government. No, Mr. Arnab, you are in a government for past 7 months. You are in the government for past 7 months. Mr. J Akbar is a member of the BJP party. If he knows this fact, then this improper...
No, one second. I'll tell you. No, I'm bothered about...
What was he doing? What was this Modi government is doing? You have a Prime Minister...
Mr. Madhu Gaud Yaskhi. Mr. Madhu Gaud Yaskhi.
Who level allegations...
Mr. Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, I've also been listening for a long time.
Which cannot be
no, Mr. Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, I've been listening for a long time. I want to know whether in the UPA government, these kickback kings, people like Chirstian Michel were running India. Because listen to me, it has emerged that Finmeccanica paid Chirstian Michel 18 million euros in kickbacks from the VVIP deal, and an attempt to camouflage this was made by getting him to buy the remaining obsolete Pawan Hans helicopters through a company called Entera Private Limited. This has thrown up more questions than answers, and the previous UPA dispensation, during whose tenure this offer was made, has got to answer. Tell me, Pawan Hans confirms an offer was made to buy these planes and they didn't respond to Entera Private Limited because there was a case pending in court as to who these planes belong to. Did they not know that Entera Private Limited wants to buy these obsolete, faulty, dangerous, unwieldy planes in the first place? Is a company that is owned by Chirstian Michel, who in their right mind, Maroof, let me get you in. You've been quiet on this. I'll show the pictures. Okay. Who in their right mind, you have to belong to a mental institution to buy these choppers.
You asked me to answer
1 second.
During the UPA government. Arnab, you raised
1 second.
You raised Mr. Yakshi, a question.
Mr. Yakshi, I'm asking you, you are in government. First of all, you should.
If there is a truth.
Mr. Yakshi, did Chirstian Michel offer to buy the choppers or not?
No,
did Chirstian? No, 1 second.
Why Mr. A.K. Anthony cancelled the contract outright?
One second.
What was last 7 months?
Maroof,
what was last 7 months?
Maroof, you tell me. Maroof, you tell me. Let's listen to Maroof. Maroof knows these issues. Maroof, tell me. The planes can't fly. What's it? The choppers can't fly. They have been declared air unworthy in 2000. They won't even fly 1 meter above the ground. Why would anybody try to buy them unless they were trying to camouflage kickbacks? They are only using that to camouflage kickbacks. Maroof is speaking now.
During 2000, India government.
Maroof, please. Maroof is speaking.
Spokesperson allows somebody else to speak.
Maroof.
Arnab, either you allow us to speak or
please
you shut
go
off
ahead,
his
Maroof
volume.
and Madhu Gaud Yaskhi,
Because we
please
can't
listen to
have a sensible debate if he's going to go on and on. I've kept quiet for the last half an hour.
Go on, Maroof.
Now please hear me, sir. The first point is that you are saying that it was aid money whether for India or for the Indian people. Now that let's not get into semantics. But the point at issue is close to $800 million worth of aid money, and Rajiv Gandhi's government was arm twisted into doing the deal for 60 million. That's on the internet. I'm not saying it. The point at issue is that what was the compulsion, what was the pressure to compromise the so-called aid money for a much lesser amount and take what were the experts saying as technically faulty equipment. In fact, by 1991, after this deal was done with India, and these two aircrafts had crashed in 88 and 89 in the India's northeast, 21 or so odd aircrafts were finally put into a museum in Somerset in UK because even the British government felt they were technically unsound. The first point. Second is, Maggie Thatcher knew all along that she was pushing the wrong card. In fact, she came close to losing a prime ministership in a showdown with Neil Kinnock in the parliament when she was defending the transfer of this equipment to a European company. And she wanted it transferred to Sikorsky, whereas Kinnock and others and Heseltine wanted it transferred to a European company. Pointed issue is, Maggie Thatcher, to my mind, had a stake in the future of this company.
Yeah.
So she was trying to push it down the throat of whoever was gullible. The central question to me is, why were we gullible? A, it was technically unsound. B, for a lesser amount we took it. We talk of the honesty and integrity of Mr. Anthony. Talk to any service officer, and the unanimous opinion is that Mr. Anthony was the most incompetent defense minister this country has had since independence. He was Mr. Do Nothing, was called Saint Anthony mockingly because he wanted to whitewash everything. He undid our defense preparedness to a level that we have to now work for the next decade.
No, I think there must be
a real martyr out of the Congress.
Madhu Gaud Yaskhi.
Mrs. Gandhi lost her life because of the political game she played. Rajiv Gandhi paid a price with his life for his wrong policies in Sri Lanka. So please don't martyrize them only.
No,
yes, they were great.
Okay, one second.
But the reality is, India wants to know. India wants to know why your governments have successfully. And if you don't accept British declassified documents. You don't accept British declassified documents. How is it that Mr. Anthony ordered a CBI inquiry and called off the Westland deal on the basis of documents?
I mean, you have to be out of your mind.
So Italian prosecutors.
No, you have to be out of your mind. What's a Maroof?
British Prime Minister's minutes of the meeting
Maroof.
We want questions. We want answers to these questions.
Maroof.
It's an absolute farce, Arnab.
It is a farce. You see, Maroof, it's only in India. One second. And by the way, don't make it political. One second, Mr. Yaskhi. Listen to this. By the way, GVL Narasimha Rao wants to come in. I want to go back to this. The fact is, please, in any other country, somebody walks in and says, listen, you got a pretty piece of junk lying there in the Mumbai airport. I want to buy the junk. Okay? And it turns out, and this is the junk, by the way, let's look at it. I mean, you have to be mad. I'm telling you, you have to be mad or crazy not to investigate. And it turns out, GVL Narasimha Rao, that this is the junk. Now, I'm telling you, I won't pay 10 rupees for the junk. But a middleman comes in and he is paid 18 million euros and kickbacks from the VVIP chopper scam. I mean, did nobody in the Manmohan Singh government know that a middleman wants to buy the junk? GVL Narasimha Rao, this is the biggest scam. One scam is that...
Arnab, I think it's highly disgraceful. I have no hesitation in saying this, that for an Indian Prime Minister to have succumbed to the kind of pressure that was put on him. And incidentally, Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister who had the maximum mandate in this country so far. A man who had the maximum mandate.
About
and
a leader who laid his life and was no longer alive.
Congress Party and Sonia Gandhi,
Mr. Arnab,
the Congress Party led by Sonia and Rahul,
against allegation about a leader who
all
was a modern architect of modern India.
That have come out,
this is
that have been revealed by the...
Sir, I am asking you, why is a front company...
Arnab,
No, Madhu Madhu Gaud Yaskhi, don't get emotional.
Mr. Narasimha Rao.
Don't respond emotionally, respond rationally.
Unacceptable.
Congress
This is
are
how the
doing
BJP
nation
does it.
more harm
They
than
can
good.
stoop down to any level. They kill the people. They divide the nation to
highly
come to power.
disgraceful.
They make unfounded allegations. They can go to any level. The Honorable
What
Prime
unfound?
Minister
These
makes
are
unfounded allegations
undeniable
to come
facts.
to power. They
These
can do
are
anything.
undeniable
Okay,
facts.
here's one last question.
Let me
Here
tell
is
you
one last
whatever
question to you,
makes
Madhu
you
Gaud.
know-
Madhu Gaud,
I will
Madhu
not
Gaud,
allow-
here's a question for you.
No.
Here's
I
a
will not
question
allow
for
to
you.
make any
A question for you,
allegation.
Madhu Gaud.
I
One
just
second.
need to-
A question for you. A question for you. A question for you, Madhu Gaud. I know you have to go. Take a
I will
question.
not allow him to
Take
make
a question.
question.
Arey bhai, take a question. I am telling you, I am determined to go after this story. Listen to me. The fact of the matter remains that there's a man called Chirstian Michel. What is Chirstian Michel? A dangerous, notorious, low-level middleman known to have top connections to a top political family of India. I'm not naming it, but MJ Akbar says I'm being polite. Fine. I'm occasionally polite, MJ Akbar. My question is, the fact of the matter remains that this middleman, his father Wolfgang, had run a company called Entera Corporation, which did business deals in India amounting to $2 million US. If his son Christian was the middleman in the Finmeccanica deal, and his company goes by the same name that his father used to run, to make an offer, should the government not have made an attempt to probe any link between Finmeccanica and Entera Private Limited? It's this basic thing to do. You understand? Don't get emotional about the Gandhi family. You see, the problem is anybody mentions the Gandhis, you go ballistic.
Mr. Arnab, may I answer this?
Yeah,
if there is a truth of any
that
money has
Entera
been
Private
received
Limited is a
by
front
any
company.
Political family.
No, a front company of a middleman wants to buy junk.
Why,
Simple.
Mr. Anthony?
A front company
Why,
of a
Mr.
middleman wants to buy the
Anthony
junk.
cancel the whole contract, Mr.
One second.
Arnab?
I'm asking you.
If there is a money
Madhu
paid,
Gaud Yaskhi,
if
what
there is
will
a
the
money
middleman
paid,
do?
Mr. Arnab,
What will the middleman do? He'll fly these choppers?
You are alleging.
What will the middleman do with the choppers?
If money is paid.
Did Anthony ask, anyone ask, the then Civil Aviation Ministry ask, what will anybody do with these Pavanan's choppers? Will Chirstian Michel use these choppers to fly around?
What? Okay. Let
answer the question.
Let me remind you. Okay. No.
No,
First,
why?
let me answer the first allegation. What you're trying to make?
I don't make allegation. I only ask questions. I make no allegations.
Chirstian Michel allegations of those bribery paid to the middlemen through some leaders in this country. If that is the truth, why Mr. A.K. Anthony cancelled the whole contract in and itself?
Because it came
whole
in the
contract
public
was cancelled.
domain.
The money is so
GVL
far paid.
Narasimha Rao.
Number one.
Because the
you making an
investigation,
allegation
Madhu
based on
Yaskhi
this
Gaud,
declassified
Okay.
don't
GVL Narasimha Rao, MJ Akbar.
knowing what was happening in the Italian court.
Mr. Narasimha Rao, listen to
2010.
this. You should have
Lead all
some
the way up.
dignity.
Established
You
in the
should have
courts of
some
Italy
dignity.
that the
You
bribes
should
were
have
paid.
some credibility.
The CEO of the company
You should have
was
some
arrested.
credibility.
There was
It is
prosecution
that-
going
it is
on
the
in the
C-
Italian court.
Who are inquired
So
CBI
Anthony-
inquiry?
I'll tell you. No, question asked. Ma'am, you ask a good question. You ask a good question, listen to the fantastic answer. Well, listen, one second. If you ask a question, listen to the answer.
If there is an impropriety.
Mr. Gaud, your question, you asked a question, now listen to the
If there
answer.
is an impropriety,
Mr. Gaud, will you please hold back for a minute and listen to others? You ask a question, listen to the other side. MJ Akbar wants to say something.
BJP government. Mr. MJ Akbar, let me put these questions to them. The so-called allegations, what you're trying to make it against the UPA government.
You have to stop.
What was this BJP government doing last 7 months?
Achha, now listen to MJ Akbar's response.
Truth in it.
Listen to his response, please.
Mr. MJ Akbar is speaking on the BJP side.
Please
he
listen
was
to
with,
him.
what was he, if his article, he claims to be the honest writer.
Mr. Gaud, will you listen to him?
He says that he's written about in 1990. What
You have to
Mr.
listen to
MJ
him.
Akbar is doing.
You
when
have
the
to let MJ Akbar
non-Congress
talk.
government is there, tell me. When the non-Congress government is there, Mr.
Gaud, I award you first prize today in amount of the quantity of time, not the quality of your argument. MJ Akbar will respond to you now. Please listen. MJ Akbar. MJ Akbar will respond. Please listen. For God's sake, please listen.
You are not judged to judge the quality of the argument.
Okay, listen.
Your quality of argument of a leader, of a spokesman of the BJP, talking about a leader who is no longer alive to defend himself. He stooped down to a level, and that is the quality of argument you are saying, Mr. Arnab.
I let MJ Akbar
if I
respond.
speak on the facts, it's not quality argument.
Baba, let him
and
respond.
you speak on the untruth allegations, unfound allegations, frivolous allegations.
Fine. MJ Akbar
that's a quality of argument.
MJ Akbar respond.
Is this fair?
Let me
MJ
just-
Akbar respond.
May I make 2 points and then let's close the debate. the 2 points are, he's raised that Antony ordered the investigations only after the Italian police and the Italian press exposed the whole corruption.
Absolutely.
In the Augusta. Then there was huge public pressure.
Absolutely.
You remember, Arnab, you did stories at that
Of course.
time. You did debates at that time.
Yeah.
Because of the enormous public pressure in India, that is, the government was forced to withdraw from the shenanigans. And even then, nobody, Mr. Antony, made no effort to catch the middleman. No effort whatsoever. The money had been paid. Number two,
so what were you last 7 months?
Over and over again,
what has happened in the last 7 months? You are the part of BJP.
In the
you are
last
part of BJP government. What are you doing last 7 months?
In power for 5-6 months. These details have now been given provided by the declassified documents of the British government. Now. This government of Narendra Modi will definitely, I am absolutely sure, investigate and find out the truth of what happened,
Mr.
because
Akbar,
already
you have access to
all the classified
Italian
helicopters deal is going on.
You have an access to all the
Maroof,
link up very smoothly as a back-to-back operation.
What were you doing last 7 months?
Maroof, do you believe
you have all the access?
Maroof, do you believe it is the responsibility? It is the responsibility of the Narendra Modi government now to go to the bottom. You know, I think this man Chirstian Michel.
Access to the every
Chirstian Michel.
Arnab, can I?
Maroof, Chirstian Michel is the Quattrochi of the last government.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Can I reply?
No, like Quattrochi in the Rajiv Gandhi government, Chirstian Michel of UPA too. If you want the truth to come out, we let Quattrochi get away. We need to not let Chirstian Michel get away. Do you think this government needs to drag Chirstian Michel to India? Do you think we need to do that?
Arnab, my response is as follows. Firstly, it is the responsibility of every government to ensure good, clean governance. Narendra Modi included, the last government also. Now, I'm not pointing fingers as anybody, but what I'm saying that in the just like the Congress spokesperson who just wouldn't keep quiet, is going on and on about the Congress leaders having sacrificed their lives. They were innocent citizens who have died. We owe it to their memory to put a nail and the coffin and close the matter in a way that the family feels due justice has been done. You can't expect me to keep my mouth shut when you make your false allegations. Sir, I am not asking you to keep your mouth shut. You are sounding like the Pakistani interlocutors who I meet very often on the show. You are just trying to fudge every argument by constantly rambling away. Would you have the decency to shut up and listen to another point of view?
You shut up.
I am not, it is not, you are
one second, don't get personal, gentlemen. Restrict yourself to the debate, please.
Because
no, please, let's not get personal.
You are trying to fudge everything by constantly rambling on. You don't want to hear Mr. Akbar, you don't want to hear the anchor. What is your problem? We've heard you out. Your leaders are not saints. Let me tell you, your leaders are not saints.
Who the hell you are to ask me to shut up?
And don't carry on and on.
Who the hell you
All
are
I'm saying is please let somebody else speak.
Use parliamentary language.
I am another citizen who's exasperated with your apologist attitude for your Congress party.
Who the hell you are to ask me to shut up? You have a point.
Yeah, so let somebody else speak.
You have a point to discuss a debate.
Let somebody else speak. You're sounding like those Pakistanis who come in on the show and don't let anybody speak.
You cannot tell me to shut up. Who the hell you ask me to shut up?
I'm debating. Now when you finish, you answer my question.
You have a point.
When you finish, you answer my question. My question is,
last question. No, he's asking a question. He's asking a counter question. He's putting a question, Mr. Gaud.
Will you hear me out?
Let him ask the question, you answer.
Will you hear me out?
After that, I'll come to you, Mr. Gaud.
Allow this gentleman.
Okay, fine. No, 1 second. No personal insults. He's asking a question, and then you will answer. 1 second. Ask the question, then Maroof, let him answer. Okay, fine. So you let him ask the question and then Mr. Gaud, you answer. No personal insults to be traded on the program. Please restrict yourself to the question. 1 second, please. Maroof will ask a question. Madhu Gaud will answer. Please.
You are saying, Arnab, Mr. Gaud is saying that British declassified documents are no proof of any hanky-panky. Then why is a prosecutor's report good enough for their successive defense minister to put the whole case of Augusta Westland, which was passed by successive tests and met the high altitude flying requirements of previous governments, why was Mr. Antony putting that case into the CBI? Because clearly, as Mr. Akbar has brought out, the trail led right to the top and he wanted the matter to be closed. So one set of foreign documents is good enough for you to close the deal. Another set of foreign documents is not good enough for you to take seriously. Who measures your requirements of integrity? Your own party or the Italians or the British?
Okay, Arnab, let me answer to the gentleman. Mr. Maroof.
Please answer, sir.
Maroof. Okay, let me quickly answer to you. Your so-called declassified documents of the British government, which your debate started now.
Yeah.
First, there's no allegation of those declassified documents says that any amount of money as bribery paid, then the government ministers or prime minister or anyone. The so-called declassified
proves it was junk.
Says
it proves it was junk.
Listen to this. No, let me answer. Let me answer to this gentleman.
No, it proves it was junk.
And doesn't shows any bribery has been paid. It only shows that's the aid to the Indian government at risk if these so-called choppers were not bought. The late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, you cannot question integrity and level allegations against.
That's all subjective.
Who laid his life to the nation.
That's all subjective.
You cannot come up and make an allegation.
Bofors was also a truth.
Let me tell you. No.
Bofors was also a truth.
Arnab.
Bofors was not fiction.
This gentleman is saying.
Bofors was a reality.
Is saying about these documents. The declassified document doesn't shows any proof of.
Sir, why on earth would you buy choppers that are proven to be technically incapable of flying safely?
Or the civil aviation minister of that time.
Sir,
secondly, it is the honesty, the integrity of the Congress. It is. Let quickly answer this. No, this I will not allow. Let me answer this.
Sir, the BJP spokesperson wants to respond to you.
Let me answer this.
Mr. Rao wants to rebut you.
It is the BJP NDA government who are stooped down to level 2 made money on the caskets of to ship the dead bodies of the soldiers. This is the government who's talking.
Okay, 1 second. Now responses from the BJP. Please, 1 second. MJ Akbar and GVL Narasimha Rao.
Rescued during the Kargil war.
Okay, MJ Akbar and GVL Narasimha Rao, please, and then I'm closing, please.
To go down to any level.
MJ Akbar and GVL Narasimha Rao responding, then I'm closing.
Mr. Anthony ordered outright CBI inquiry, cancel the contract of 3,564 crores.
Oh, please.
And you are in the government now.
Mr.
You have all the documents.
Please complete
Mr. Maroof, the allegations which you are making based on the truth so-called came out by the declassified documents of the British government. You are in power.
Oh,
Mr. MJ Akbar is a part of the BJP government. You are in the government
Fine, so
last 7 months.
Okay, we are closing now.
All the documents.
We are closing.
What were you doing?
We are closing.
What were you doing? Don't make any false allegations without any
GVL Narasimha Rao, MJ Akbar, if you would like to respond, please, Mr. Gaud, please. And then you'll get angry if others interrupt you. 1 second. Yes, Mr. Rao.
I think Yaskhi Gaud doesn't want to end. I want to tell him this evidence that has come out, the cabinet notes, is completely irrefutable evidence because all the events that have been mentioned in this particular notes on January, on 18 of 1985, on April 18, on April 25, on April 23, on April 21, all events and discussions have been mentioned by specific dates, and the meetings that have taken place between the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister of UK, and between the Minister for Development
Mr. Rao, actually there's a very simple...
And all this, this is in public domain.
No, Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao, 1 second. Mr. Rao, 1 second, please. Mr. Gaud, just 1 minute. You see, Mr. Gaud, 1 minute. Mr. Gaud, 1 minute. Italian prosecutors, and this is a simple answer to your question.
Question to Mr. Rao.
Mr. Rao, please listen, please. Mr. Rao, please listen, please. Now you listen.
During 2000, during the NDA government, 2000, then the government returned 9 choppers for mere 900,000 pounds. What was Mr. GVL Rao's government of NDA in 1999 to 2004? What were you doing? Okay. If the choppers were defuncted, technically faulted, what were you doing during that time, Mr. Rao?
Here's what I'm saying. I do not believe that defense camps happen without political patronage. And my question is to MJ Akbar, that when you have a London-based middleman...
India resigned, the defense minister resigned because of the scam.
Mr. Gaud,
Their
please.
party president in jail because of the bribery.
Mr. Gaud, please.
Their
The Augusta Westland scam would not have been possible without the patronage of politicians at the highest levels. Has the CBI investigated MJ Akbar, the role of politicians and bureaucrats in India?
Absolutely.
Answer is no. Can the Modi government do that? Answer is yes.
Yes.
Has it done so far? No. So it needs to do it, right? Immediately. Reopen the whole junk Choppergate Augusta Westland scam in a big way. I think that is a...
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Arnab. Yes, it must.
Arnab.
I hope it will, Mr. Akbar.
And it is already being
I
done.
hope it will, Mr. Akbar. I hope it will. Because it hasn't done so far.
No, the investigations
No, the ED is investigating all the middlemen in the case.
The ED is investigating, Arnab.
Their bribes to
Yes,
middlemen.
Mr. Akbar.
So the facts will come out.
investigations
Mr.
are going
Akbar.
on. Yes. I
They're
said
most
I
welcome.
can't hear you
Most
clearly, but
welcome
I
to
want to
investigate.
repeat that the investigations are going on.
Okay, we'll track the investigations,
The ED had
Mr.
filed that
Akbar.
charge
We'll
sheet.
track the
The
investigations.
ED had asked for...
We'll track the investigations, and I
losing your
thank you
sound,
all
Arnab.
for joining me on debate number 2, what ended
Thank
up being
you.
a more heated debate than I expected on Junk Choppergate, a story being followed on Types Now. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you.